Hello, my amazing artists. Welcome back. We have been reading this story, Frida Kahlo and her Animalitos, written by Monica Brown and illustrated by Parra. We've already learned about two of her pets, and I started seeing some of your drawings over the past couple of days, and they are amazing. And I'm excited to see more of them as I make more of these videos. Today we're going to be introduced to another one of Frida's pets, and it's a really good one. We're also going to be learning a little bit more about what Frida was like when she was a kid. I have a feeling you might be able to find some similarities between yourself and Frida.
Frida had a cat with black, shiny fur, the same color as her long, dark hair. Like a cat, Frida was playful, but as a child, Frida couldn't always play. When Frida was 6, she got very sick. She was in bed for a long time. But little Frida didn't get sad or bored. Instead, she used her breath to make mist on her window, and then she drew a door with her finger. Frida used her big imagination and curious eyes to walk out the door with a magic friend, a little girl who danced and played like a kitten. Frida was independent, like a cat. Frida's sickness left one of her legs different from the other, and children made fun of her. But this didn't stop Frida from skating and riding bikes and rowing on the lakes of Chapultepec Park so that her leg could get stronger. Frida was not afraid to do things other little girls didn't usually do. She wore overalls and boxed and wrestled. So again, all you need is a pencil, paper, and an eraser to draw Frida's cat. We're going to leave some extra space on the left side of our paper to add something at the end. So I'm just putting my left hand down and making a mark to remember not to draw on that side of my paper. Okay, so let's get started with some basic shapes so we know where Frida's cat's head and body goes. So, of course, we're going to start with a round shape for his head and then an oval type of shape for his body. And his body is about 3 times as big as his head is. So keep that in mind when you're drawing so you don't make his head too big. So here's my round shape for my head, and then I'm not going to give him a neck because there isn't really a neck in the book. I'm just going to start from that head and draw an oval, a long oval shape for his body because he's sort of stretched out, jumping in the book. Of course, just like most cats, there's 4 legs and then a long tail. So I'm just going to draw some lines to mark off where those legs and that tail will go. All right, so our cat has 2 triangle-shaped ears at the top of his head. So we're going to draw 1 triangle at the very top of this circle we made. We're going to draw a line that goes from that triangle over to our next triangle. Then you can do some erasing inside of both of those triangles that you just made. Now, inside of both of those ears, there's another little triangle, and that's going to be the inside of our cat's ears. If I were to color those, I'd probably make them pink. Let's add our cat's nose. So our cat is facing our left side of our paper, so we don't want it to be in the middle of our circle. Instead, we're going to find the end of that left ear, and then we're going to come down and we're going to draw a triangular shape towards the left side of our face. So it looks like our cat is looking off to the side. Then I'm going to add a curved line underneath and another curved line, and that's going to be our cute little cat mouth. Now we need to give him 2 eyes. Again, we want him to look like he's looking towards the left side of our paper. So I'm going to draw a very light line so I kind of can make sure my eyes are even with each other. And then I'm going to draw a circle and then another circle. As usual, you can be creative with these eyes. You could give them a silly expression. You could make them wear glasses even if you wanted to. I'm just drawing 2 circles and then another circle inside of those. And then of course I'm going to give him those eye highlights like I've been doing with the last 2 animals. And then I'm going to color around those highlights. If you're waiting to color, you could use black later on instead of your pencil. That's up to you. So I really wanted to make sure those eyes were even and that they look like they're looking towards the same direction on the left side of my paper. I'm going to give him a little bit of hairs above his eyes to make it look sort of like eyebrows. And then, of course, cat whiskers. Now I'm going to make sure that the lines around his face are more defined. And then I'm going to erase all of those extra lines inside of my cat face that I do not need anymore. All right, I'm happy with how that looks. So from the right side of my cat's head, I'm going to draw a more defined line to make up the cat's back. And then I'm going to come back to the left side of my cat. And I can see there's just this itty bitty line going from the cat's head to his first leg. So that should just be a short line. Now, this cat's legs aren't very detailed. It's just sort of 2 parallel lines connected with a curve. So I'm going to draw a long straight line out, curve it, and then bring it back up just like that. And that's what all of his legs are going to be like. Just these simple, long, curved shapes. Our cat doesn't really have a neck, but it kind of has a chin. So I'm going to erase that bottom part of the circle and then just leave this little line for the cat's chin. And I'm going to do the same thing on this leg to show that it's on the other side of the cat's body. Now let's move on to the other front cat leg. So we just need to have a short line in between the 2 legs, and we're going to do the same sort of shape for this other leg. We don't want it to come out as far as the first leg we drew because it is on the closer side to us. And then you can erase all those extra lines that you had made at the beginning. So the bottom of our cat is just going to have this long straight line. And then you can erase the bottom part of the oval you made at the beginning. And you're going to do the same thing with the back legs, just facing the other direction. So we come out, curve it around, and bring it back up to the body. And his other back leg is really close together to this other leg. So I'm just going to draw a line that kind of comes up towards his tail. And then from there, I'll draw this back leg, curve it around, and bring it back up, up, up. And then you can erase those extra stray lines that you don't need anymore. Great, so all that we have left is the cat's curly tail. So from his back, I'm going to curve down a little bit more. And then from there, I'm going to draw a really curvy line. And then I'm going to come back, 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 all the way around, just like that. Your tail can be curled even more if you want it to be. And then we'll do our last erasing. You can even erase that line we made at the beginning to block off the left side of our paper. I want to give my cat some paws. So the legs that are close to us, I'm just going to give them some little lines, probably 3 lines on each one. And then the legs facing the other way, I'm going to put a big circle and then 3 or 4 little circles. So our cat has a little something extra on his legs so they don't just look like sticks. So we're done drawing our cat, and I hope you're happy with how it looks. You could add some details to it in a little bit. I'm going to give you a chance to be a little creative with this artwork. I want you to make your cat running towards something. It could be anything you want. It could be something maybe you wish you were running towards right now. It could be, I don't know, a person or a place or a thing, just anything that you want. I'm going to add some little motion lines to show that our cat is jumping towards something. And I'm also going to add some stars just to give it a little something extra. If you've got an idea for what you want your cat to jump towards, then you could stop my video right now and go ahead and add that thing that you want your cat to jump towards. You know, I'm going to make my cat jump towards a pizza. So I'm going to draw a pizza box. I'm going to start with a diagonal line, a horizontal line, another diagonal line, and another horizontal line. And I want to make sure that those lines I made are parallel to each other. So they should look like the same lines across from each other. And then in each of those corners, I'm going to have a little straight line going straight vertical downwards. Then I need to connect those little lines. So I want a line that is parallel with that horizontal line, another parallel line to that diagonal line, and then let's see, another diagonal line, and then another horizontal line. So that is the bottom of our pizza box. So inside of that, we need a round pizza. So I'm just going to kind of draw some curves in here to make it look like there is a whole full pizza in here. And I'm going to make my pizza crust. Usually pizzas are cut into 8s, so I'm going to split it in half 4 different ways so that I should have 8 slices of pizzas in there. And then I'm going to give them some circles for pepperonis, which is the best flavor of pizza, in my opinion. All right, so the bottom part of our pizza box is all set. Now we need the top part, and I want my box to be open. So I'm going to have 2 parallel diagonal lines going up, and then a straight across horizontal line connecting those. From each corner, I'll have little lines going down, and then we need to connect those 2 lines with a straight line going across. Let's erase that little line inside, and then we will have a diagonal line going down and another diagonal line going down. Ta-da! I love this drawing. I hope you like yours too. The book didn't give this cat a name, so I'm just going to give it my own name. I'm going to name mine Artie, the hungry cat. I want you to give yours your own name, and you could add color to it or shading to it, whatever you want to make it unique to you. And I would love to see your cats. Please have your parents take a picture and email those artworks to me. It makes me so happy to see your creations.